back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Hannah Butterfield. Today we are going out on a day trip to London. So John's booked us tickets for a concert in the evening, and we're going to go off to Covent Garden and a small beer brewery to see what they've got, and then we'll go out for dinner before we head off to the concert. So let's go! So I'm just doing a little extra bit for the end of the video after our trip to London. I'm filming this actually quite a few weeks later. Once we got to London, I felt super self-conscious about taking video and speaking on camera, and yeah, I don't know, so I just didn't really do it. Once we got to London, we got off at Oxford Circus and then we walked down to Covent Garden. It was so busy, it was crazy, and obviously I knew it was London and it would be busy, but it was really busy. So yeah, we went to Covent Garden. We just had a bit of a look around. We didn't kind of hang around there too much, and then we walked to Charing Cross Station, and I kept saying to John, I was like, I want a coffee, I want a coffee. So eventually we found a Pret, but there was nowhere to sit inside, but there was a little garden round the corner which John knew about. So we sat in there, had the coffee, and then we were going to get the train to the brewery. But then, so when we walked to the train station, Charing Cross train station, the main line rather than the tube, and we just quickly used the toilets there, and he was then looking at the boards whilst I was still in the loo, the train boards, and he was like, oh, I've made an error. This train then takes us to London Bridge, and from London Bridge, that's where we can get the train to this brewery. And it was going to take us 25 minutes to get there. And then, so it was a 50-minute round trip, and we thought, we're not really sure we're going to have enough time to get there, get back, have dinner, and still be in time for the concert. So we decided just to not go. So we're going to go and do that maybe another day, just as a trip on its own. So we decided we'd walk across the bridge, go to the other side of the river, and we found we just walked along Embankment, and we found a place, I think it was a cinema, but it had a bar as well. So we just went there. I had a soft drink and John had something, I don't know, I can't remember now, and that was nice. and it was a bit quieter as well. I think because it was like not quite the right time of day. It was quite early at this point, so there were a few people as we were kind of finishing up. There were a few people that looked like they were coming straight from work. But after that, we then walked back towards a bit closer to where like the London Eye is. We didn't quite get that far, but that kind of direction. And we had thought we would go to, I think it was a Giraffe restaurant was along there. John really likes, there's a Wagamama's along there, but I don't love Wagamama's, so I was like, I don't want to go there. So we went to, I think it was a Giraffe, I'm fairly sure it was, which I like. We had a really lovely dinner. They were super nice because we turned up quite early actually for dinner, and they said, when we arrived, they said, oh, have you booked a table? And we were like, no. So they said, oh, that's fine, we've got a table for 2, but we need it back in an hour. And we thought, oh, that's perfect, like we don't need longer than an hour. So we had dinner, and then I think we pottered around for a bit near the festival hall, and in the end we went inside. We kind of looked around festival hall, and we were trying to find like a bar within festival hall just to have a drink. Again, I just had a soft drink, and we just spent a bit of time there before the concert, and then went to the concert. It was really good. There was 3 kind of pieces that they were playing. So there was a modern piece that, to be honest, I wasn't that impressed with. John kind of had an appreciation for it more in terms of its like musical technicalities, and he was like, oh, I could see that they were doing this or doing that, but I think overall we weren't like hugely impressed by the more modern piece. And then they had 2 more like classical kind of pieces, and the final piece was like amazing. It was so good. So we really enjoyed the concert, which was kind of what we had gone for to London in the first place, and then everything else we were just trying to make a day of the trip. So yeah, so that's what we did. And as soon as the concert finished, we came home. And then when we got back, we tried to get an Uber. There were like no Ubers near us to get back home. And then we tried to get a taxi. They had no taxi, so we just had to walk. But that was fine. But yeah, that was our trip to London. Good morning, everyone. Today I am doing another trip to London. So I'm going to go shopping, mostly just because I'm going to the theatre with my friend Chloe this evening. We're going to go and see Bake Off, the musical. So I thought I might make a day of it and go to London. Yeah, so I'm going to go shopping. I might go to the Twist Museum if there's time. So yeah, let's see how we get on. I've got this funny lanyard for my phone, but then it's like, yeah, it's not really working out. So we'll see how we get on. Let's go. Morning. First video where I'm filming in the house, so it's a little bit weird like that, but yeah, it's pretty quiet around here. The weather is like a bit strange. It's like super sunny now, and then it'll go like windy, super windy actually, and it's been raining. I've like not even got to the station yet, so yeah, not expecting my hair to stay nice and curly all day. I've already had to pin it up because it's just blowing everywhere, but there we go. So yeah, so I'm just gonna get the train, and then we'll be going to Oxford Street to go shopping. And on Oxford Street there's the Twist Museum, which I mentioned before. Oh, there's just a car. Oh, just crossing the road. But yeah, there's the Twist Museum, which is a bit expensive and it has like mixed reviews, so we'll see if we have time. And then I'm going to meet my friend Chloe, and we are going to go and see Bake Off, the musical, this evening. We're going to have like a really quick dinner because she's working today, but that's the train. Yeah, I think we'll probably just have like McDonald's or Five Guys or something, I think was what she was thinking. But
yeah, and then we'll see the show. I've also booked a like storage drop-off thing for a few hours because the theatre can't take like massive bags. So I was like, if I end up buying a few bits, they might not be able to store it. So there was a Premier Inn that did storage. It's like £5 a day. Obviously I don't need for the whole day, but it was still £5. Well, I think it was 6 with extra charges or something. But yeah. Oh, we're going uphill now, so a bit out of breath. I'm also waiting for a phone call from work, sort of work. Had an interview on Wednesday and I'm waiting for the call still. It's Friday now to see if I got it or not. Yeah, what else? Probably get a coffee or something when we get there. Oh, we've made it to the top of the hill, so that's good. But yeah, so try and redo my hair as well. I pinned it up because it was so windy. Yeah, I'll try and do a better job once I'm on the train. See you in a bit. So I'm just in Marks and Spencer's having a cup of coffee. I've just finished a coffee and a little millionaire shortcake. And let's start shopping. It's about midday, so I'll probably have a bit of a later lunch. Not too late though, hopefully, because I'm meeting Chloe at 6:30, so I don't want to be like quite close together. And the show starts at 7:30. Yeah, so the train was quite busy, which I was quite surprised at for like the time of day. But,
Hello again. So it was Friday last week when I went to London, and it's now Tuesday, and I ended up not really filming much more. After I went to Marks and Spencer's, I went to Primark and I didn't buy any clothes. I did buy a few like bits and pieces, but I didn't get any clothes because the clothes were either like very similar to kind of Zara style, I would say, which is just not really my cup of tea. I don't like Zara at all. Or their other kind of stuff was like really super bright, like almost like neon bright colours, and again, it's just not really my cup of tea. So I did try on one skirt which I thought looked ridiculous, so I didn't buy that. And I tried to try on this like almost like this gym set, but it was really small, which it said the medium was like 12 to 14, so I expected it to fit, but I just like I couldn't even get the top over the top of my head. The trousers did fit, but I didn't like the look of them, I didn't like the feel of them, so I just gave up with the whole lot. So I didn't buy any clothes at all. Whilst I was in the changing room, my hair clip, I like pinned my hair up in a bun, oh dear, and it like pinged off and it broke. Can you see? So good I was in Primark because I could buy a new one. So, and the lady at the cashier was really nice. She like cut the tag off for me, so I still had a clip. And I used that during the day. After I left Primark, I went to Next because I'd spotted when I was walking there that they had a Costa. So I went there and had lunch. I had like a cheese and chicken toasty with an Americano. And then I went to Curry's PC World and I wanted to look at cameras, and I was hoping that like one of the people that worked there would kind of help explain the differences and help me try and pick one that I would like eventually maybe want to buy. But nobody really approached me and I felt a bit silly to like ask them, given that I wasn't planning to buy one there and then. So I just left. And then I went to Matalan. They have a Matalan on Oxford Street, but I was going to buy a headband, but I couldn't find anything else and I couldn't be bothered to like pay for one headband, so I put that back and left. I didn't think their stuff was like all that nice, And then the things I did think were nice were really expensive, so I ended up getting nothing. And then I think I was getting a bit anxious about time. Oh, I did go as well to Flying Tiger. I feel like with Flying Tiger, I really like the idea of the shop, but whenever I go there, I'm always a bit like, nah, I don't need that, don't want that. And I very rarely actually get anything there. So I really like the idea of the shop, but just doesn't really seem to translate to actually purchasing something for me. But yeah, I think then I was getting a bit anxious about the time. So I walked down to the big boots and went to, because I knew that I wanted to get some setting spray. That was like one of the purchases that I absolutely had to make because I was running out. So I went to Boots, I got the setting spray. It's here. I have to admit, I put it on this morning. I was hoping for slightly better results. My makeup has shifted on my nose and on my chin still. So whether or not I'm just not using it right, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna keep trying. I mean, it actually is definitely better than my current setting spray. It's just, it is quite expensive, this one. And whether it's worth the money, I don't know. But I'm going to keep persevering. It's only like the second or third time that I've actually used it. So we'll keep trying. And I'll keep you updated. The other thing I got was I needed some new primer. And this is, I feel like this is a successful purchase because I've had it before, so I knew what I was getting. The only thing is, it is £9, but it does last quite a long time. So yeah, it just looks like that, the putty primer. It is good. It is good. I would recommend. And then the other thing I got in Boots was I wanted to try a fixing setting powder. Again, I'm not convinced I'm using this right at the moment. It's the first one that I've had, so I'll just keep persevering, trying to get better, see how it ends up. But yeah, that was all I got from Boots. Just a few bits for makeup, but I spent more in Boots for those 3 items than I did in Primark, which I'll show you what I got in Primark in a moment. I then went to John Lewis, and again I wanted to look at the cameras, and again I was hoping someone would like approach me and like chat to me a bit about cameras, and I was like really hanging around and like just like kept going back between the Sony and the Canon stall, like on this one and then on that one, and then but literally no one came and said anything to me, and I kind of looked at the accessories, but yeah, no one approached me, and there were people around, so yeah, that was a bit strange. So I'm still not any the wiser about if I want to get a camera, what I'd actually get. I don't know if I went to a more local shop if I'd have more luck. But anyway, I'm not going to get one anytime soon, so it's fine. And then it was about 4 o'clock at this point, and I thought, well, if I leave Oxford Street at like 5 on a Friday, it might be like crazy busy because everyone will be finishing work, and yeah, it was actually only 2 stops that I needed to go, but I decided just to leave then because I thought it might be too busy. In actual fact, I think that was a mistake. I should have stayed in John Lewis and like had a cup of coffee there, like potted around, because I got the train to Charing Cross and then walked closer to Leicester Square anyway, so I was a bit like, oh, I could have just walked here, and went to the Pret there, had a soft drink and a yogurt. I kind of felt like I'd had too much coffee by this point, and I was getting super anxious because I was waiting for a phone call about an interview I had had earlier in the week, and it was like nearly 5 o'clock, and like I still hadn't heard. I knew he finished work at 6, but I was just feeling really anxious, like I still haven't heard. What does this mean? So I was just kind of scrolling through Instagram, and that was just making me more anxious. So then I left. Yeah, so I left prep because I thought I'd kind of overstayed my welcome probably. It was also raining, so I was kind of waiting for the rain to die down. And then I dashed back to Charing Cross, like the main station, and used the bathrooms to get changed into another dress that I'd bought. And it was quite cold, and I'd got another cardigan, so I put that on. And then by this point, like, I was so anxious about hearing about this job, I was like, got really bad reflux. So there was a Boots in Charing Cross, so I went and bought some Gaviscon, and I just sat outside there waiting for, because I was meeting a friend. So I just sat there, waited for her, sent some messages, carried on just flicking through Instagram probably. But yeah, and then my friend arrived. We went to McDonald's, and it was in McDonald's that I heard about the job interview, which was just like the worst place to take that phone call. And he was really sweet, like he offered to call me back later, but I was like, well, I'm going to be in the theatre, so I can't really take the call then. So I just was like, oh no, it's fine, like I'll speak to you now. And ultimately I didn't get the job. It went to my colleague, who I expected her to get it, to be honest. Like she's amazing. So I'm really, really pleased for her. She really deserves it. And then me and my friend Chloe, we quickly ate our McDonald's dinner, and then we went to the theatre and we saw Bake Off the musical, which was so good. It was like super funny. The musicians were amazing. The singers were amazing. I was like so impressed with the singing. And the story was really good as well. It was like a comedy, I would say, mostly, but there were some like really emotional bits in it as well. So yeah, it was really good. I was so pleased that we went, and then we came home. So that was my day in London. Not really very eventful, apart from the musical, which was great. I'm so pleased that we went. It was amazing. But I'll show you the bits that I got in Primark. So when I go, I always try to get, I suppose I said I didn't get any clothes, but I did actually get 2 vests, which is they're like just basic vests really. It's not really very exciting, but I always try and get a couple of black ones whenever I go, because I just wear them all the time. So it's always handy to have really. So I got a couple of those, and then I got, I don't know how much they were though. Oh, does it say on here? Usually, £2 each. Not bad. And then I got this hair towel thing. You like wrap your hair up when you've washed it, and it's microfiber, so it absorbs the water quite well. I did have one of these before, and for the life of me I cannot find it. It's been missing for like over a year, so I figured it's been missing for so long, I don't think it's going to turn up. So it was £4. And then I got these like hoop earrings. I thought these were quite cute. I don't know what they'll look like once I've got them on. I might not like them, but yeah, these, I thought for £2, like, it was worth giving it a go. I thought I'd try this. It's a reusable cutlery set. This was £1.50. So they are plastic inside, but they do at least fit in the container. So I can use those for my lunch. And that was my trip out. So thanks for joining. Bye.